Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So yesterday, week 3 of the LEC kicked off, and one of the biggest games on the slate was Schalke against Rogue. Schalke had a really slow start to the season where I believe they dropped a game to Excel and then dropped a game to Fnatic when Fnatic was not looking that great either. But obviously coming into this one, Schalke is kind of riding a high. They just came off a big win against G2, ending their undefeated season, their undefeated split, whatever you want to call it. And they look pretty good in that game. And then now they're getting right again a matchup with another undefeated team in Rogue. And obviously on the other side, Rogue has been coming into this game looking very hot. A lot of people are asking questions. Can Rogue compete with G2 this year? Are they going to be able to take them down? Are Rogue legit? Is this going to be another team that can go and do some damage at Worlds for the LEC for Europe? And it is super exciting. But obviously this matchup, however it goes, was going to be pretty important just for gauging the overall quality of these two teams, but also for the LEC standings. In this video today, we're going to be going over the highlights from the game, breaking all that stuff down, and giving my thoughts and analysis throughout. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, thank you guys so much. We recently just hit 6,300 subscribers. That is so awesome. The views, the subscribers, the likes, comments, everything has been going crazy lately, and I do appreciate it so much. So I just wanted to say thank you guys. Also, before we get into it, make sure you drop a like on this video if you have not already. It helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. It is probably the best way for you guys to support my channel, and it's super easy. Also, if you're not subscribed, if you're not one of those 6,300, hey, join the club. Hit that subscribe button really quick. With that being said, here we go. Let's get right into this. First up, I want to talk about the draft from these two teams, as you guys can see on the screen. I don't hate either draft. Let's get that last pick up on the screen. It is the Shen. I don't hate either draft here. On the side of Schalke, I think you have a really nasty comp. You have a ton of dive, a ton of engage. Obviously, Jarvan, Camille, Rel, they're just going to be going so deep, so ham the whole time. And so I think like a Xayah pick for Rogue makes sense. You know, she's an AD carry. Obviously, she can ult away. She should be relatively safe. You also have a Shen over the top to hopefully kind of fight off some of that. But man, this is going to be a really tough game for like a Talia, even a Lucian. Yes, with just his dash, you're not just dashing away from Camille or Jarvan or Rel. You know, you're going to be getting engaged on all the time. The other problem that I have with Rogue's draft, I think Talia is really good right now. I think she's one of the best champions. Lucian's a power pick too. I don't necessarily love them together. Yes, they have some setup for the Talia. Obviously, Rakan provides some CC for the team. Xayah can sometimes provide some CC. And the Shen in the top lane, that's a really nice combo with Talia Shen. That you should be able to pick up some kills there. But the mid jungle duo, I'm just not absolutely in love with. It's fine. It's two power picks. You got a solid draft. But, you know, there may be, I think if you have one gripe with the Rogue draft, that's my one problem. But in the end, I think these are two, you know, decent drafts, two pretty solid drafts from two good teams, and we'll just, you know, see what happens on the Rift. We get into this one. Obviously, Schalke are looking like the giant slayers. The big meme is, you know, can they just keep taking down undefeated teams? What are they going to be able to do? This is pretty early on in the game. Gilius looking for an invade onto Inspired. Obviously, Jarvan pretty strong early, especially relative to the Talia. If she can ever find him out, he's going to be in a good spot. He does have to flash away with Larson roaming over, but he's able to EQ out of there, flag and drag out, and Limit is able to kind of just, you know, help him get on out of there. But then he looks for a big engage on a Trimby, who gets caught a little bit too far out, and he goes down for first blood and tries to flash away. He leaves Hansama in kind of an awkward position. Bot lane loses all their sums except for the Rakan Ignite, and Schalke picks up first blood. So a hot start for them. Nice job by them to really be backing up Gilius on that invade there, which was an intelligent play. And Rogue, kind of a weird use of their summoners. They have a big engage on a Neon here. He does go down. That was a really nice play by Inspired, being able to set up that lane gank there. Larson is going aggressive onto Abadage. Obviously, Lucian needs to play really aggressive in this matchup, but unfortunately for him, Limit is there, and they're able to get him down really low. He's surviving with like 2 HP, it looks like, but Abadage is able to flash and get the kill. But at the same time, a play happening up in the top lane. Broken Blade goes for the all-in against Oduwamne, and he just can't kill him. He tanks the tower shot, but Broken Blade and Inspired both have no mana, so this just turns into an auto-attack battle, and Broken Blade is able to delay it long enough for Gilius to come in and trade 1-for-1 on that play. So that ends up not being a bad play for Schalke. Pick up a kill in the mid lane, trade 1-for-1 in the top lane. Nice play there. Rogue picks up the first Drake of the game about 10 minutes in. That's obviously good for them. Trimby with a nice engage onto Gilius. He's able to get out, but Gilius goes back in. A really, really good ult by Gilius. Locks in a couple of people, but he does go down. Massive shockwave there, but Rogue is able to avoid disaster. They trade 1 for 0 there. That's awesome, and they're able to pick up the second Drake of the game, starting to stack up towards that soul. That is really, really exciting for them. They're in a good position. Hansama's 2-0. They're up like 500 gold at 15 minutes. Looking for a play in the mid lane, inspired with that Talia Reaver's wall in. She gets the rake onto the Camille, but Broken Blade is able to get away. And just a lot going on, but not really anything going down. In the end, Gilius gets caught out as he goes a little bit too far forward on his engage, so that wasn't great. Hansama is able to pick up first tower in the bot lane. Schalke working on that Herald. A lot of good stuff going on there. Kind of trading towers right now. Rogue picking up that top lane tower, and Schalke trading for that bot tier tower. So no real major advantage getting gained there, but Larson picking up a lot of solo farm, a lot of solo XP in the top lane. Team's just kind of posturing mid right now. Inspired looking for maybe a revered wall, but nothing really happens there. Neon does land his W onto Inspired. He just goes for it. A crazy killer instinct by him. Kind of baits in Gilius to go in a little bit too deep with his Jarvan ult. He gets caught out, but Trimby does go down in the middle of that crazy fight as well. So 1 for 1 so far. Neon is able to escape with just a sliver of health on him. Abadage kind of caught in a weird position, but he's able to get out as well. Hansama flashes over the wall, goes for the assassination onto Neon, but Neon had heal. Hansama with a crazy play, not only losing his flash and his heal, giving up a massive shutdown to Schalke. I mean, Hansama, I see what he was going for, but that is a crazy play. Fortunately for him, Rogue still able to pick up that third Drake. They're on soul point, but man, that's a costly shutdown to give away. Schalke goes for a big engage here. So far they've traded 1 for 1. Limit goes down, but Schalke was able to pick up a really nice fight there in the end, trading 3 for 1. So that was a pretty big play. Schalke trying to set up this Baron now. This is 23 minutes in. Gold is dead even, and Schalke is able to pick up the Baron. So if they're able to do something with that, they might really be able to snowball this game out of control. But so far this game's been very back and forth, very even. Broken Blade is able to get away with his E there, so that was a nice escape by him. BB honestly had a pretty good game in this one on the Camille, all things considered, but he always has a problem with farming. BB always has really low CS. That was always a problem with him on TSM as well, and he looks like he hasn't really figured that out with Schalke either. Thankfully for Schalke, with their Baron, they are able to finally pick up a Drake and keep Rogue away from that soul. They also have a 2k gold lead now at 27 minutes, so Schalke's kind of starting to pull away a little bit, but Rogue's still in a fine spot. Rogue still, has some big carries. Xayah is really strong. But Schalke picks up their 5th turret of the game, and they're looking to kind of be in position to maybe start pulling away from Rogue here. Trimby does go in. He lands a nice engage onto Limit and Gilius. Limit in a really bad spot. He does go down there. Trimby making some big plays. He's honestly had a pretty big split so far. Obviously, he has big shoes to fill in terms of Vander, but he has done it so far. Inspired with the Talia ultimate down to Broken Blade. They think they have him caught out. Inspired is going to flash onto him. Broken Blade flashes onto him to get the shield. This is just kind of a real crazy play going on. BB does go down, but Abadage, huge damage to Inspired, but the Shen ult does come in, able to save him for a little bit, but obviously the shockwave comes in after the Zanyas, and Inspired goes down. So in the end, 1 for 1, but it's not quite done. Lucian with the culling onto Neon and Abadage, but they're not able to pick up anything there. So it ends up with just a 1 for 1. 31 minutes in. This game is so back and forth. This time it's Rogue on the Baron, and they do pick it up, but the huge Jarvan ult into the shockwave over the top. Broken Blade over the wall onto Hansama. He gets the ultimate down, and Hansama is in trouble. Larson trying to, help his teammate out, save him a little bit, but he ends up just dying as well. And then Oduamne comes in. I mean, Rogue just really started inting one after another. They probably could have saved a couple of Barons, but instead they get the Baron, they get Ace, and now Schalke is going to push to end. I mean, they'll push this wave in, and they're gonna just be able to end here. The death timers were just too long. Trimby's the only one up. Inspired's up in like 4 seconds, and that would be the game. A really crazy upset, a really crazy win for Schalke. And honestly, in the end, both teams played pretty good. This ended up just looking like a really good win by Schalke. A team that, again, if we take a look at how things have been going for them, yeah, they started out nice with a win against Vitality, but then 2 losses to Excel and Fnatic back-to-back were a little bit concerning, but since then, you can see they're on a 3-game win streak, and all of a sudden, the LEC standings look like this, where Schalke is 4-2, and the 2 teams ahead of them are G2 and Rogue, and they just beat both of them. So, I mean, you could make a real case that Schalke is potentially right now the best team in the LEC. Now again, obviously you could make a case for G2, you could make a case for Rogue, you could even potentially make a case for Fnatic, who also beat Schalke. I do think it was a Schalke that was not playing as good as they are right now. You know, it was a couple weeks ago. But, I mean, you could make the case, and it's really crazy at the top of the LEC standings how everybody's beating everybody. Now, obviously, next week, we have G2 taking on Rogue. We also have Schalke taking on Misfits today, who Misfits has kind of been, you know, on a downtrend recently. But if Schalke was just kind of looking at Rogue this week and is maybe overlooking Misfits, they could drop that game. But yeah, Mad Lions, Fnatic, Schalke, Rogue, G2, all these teams seem really, really close, especially in best of ones where absolutely anything can happen. So again, I'm not saying that Schalke is the best team in the league, but again, that case can be made, and you really couldn't argue with people too much. Yes, you're not going to say that Schalke is like probably going to do the best in playoffs or go to MSI or anything right now, but right now, they are playing some of the best League of Legends in the LEC, and it is really, really cool to watch because a lot of people expected this season to be G2 just running away with things, but I am very, very hyped and very excited that Rogue, Schalke, these teams are actually competing with them, and it's making it really, really fun. The LEC is super competitive this year, super exciting, and yeah, it's just a ton of fun, and I really, it's getting me to tune in to so many of these games because any combination of these teams matching up is so fun to watch. It's so exciting, and you really have no idea what's going to happen, and that just kind of, you know, wondering and theory crafting of how exactly it's going to go down is just super exciting. But I do think the Schalke team is really talented, and when they play at their best, I know they can play with anybody. My problem with them is that they've always been really inconsistent. Obviously, you know, we've seen the ups and downs, but Broken Blade seems like he's kind of hitting a hot streak in the LEC after he didn't have a great start to the season. Limit is honestly, he's really ramping up. He's been a beast, and obviously Gilius is talking trash to everybody on Twitter right now. He's pulling out some big performances. I like a lot of the things that Schalke is doing. I think Rogue played fine, though. I don't think they need to panic. I think they're still one of the top teams. I think they're still going to do very good. And, you know, now that G2 Rogue matchup next week just gets even more spicy because that will decide, you know, if everything goes as planned, who's going to be the legit first place team in the LEC. But man, if Schalke stays hot, they're gonna be right there with them. And this really does put more pressure on Fnatic, who's kind of had a slow start to the season. You know, they're 3-3, to really continue to win games because, again, those top 3 spots in the LEC are going to be big, and whoever is able to pull those out in the end is going to be in a really great spot. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this? Do you think Schalke is legit? Do you think they're one of the top teams in LEC? Or do you think that, you know, these are just best of ones, anything can happen, and kind of the worst team won in these 2 games? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe, stay up to date on my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!